Heyo everyone, welcome back to Wispcast. This is our second one for the channel, and this is another one on Dragon Ball. I am here with two members who will be discussing it with me, Cooler and Jaki. Say hello, guys.
Hey guys.
What's up?
All right, first one was Cooler, and the second one was Jaki. So we're all ready to go, guys. All right. Well, anyways, our discussion for today is pretty much characters. Our last podcast was a pretty open one, just discussing anything that happens after Dragon Ball Super Part 1, as we'll call it. But now we're discussing mainly characters. Characters that have come, characters that have gone, and characters for the future. And before we get into that, a technical update. Right now we're still trying to find a proper formula for the podcast, so this one may have music, may not have music, may have less visuals, but that's just technical stuff. Now we can get into what we're actually talking about. So starting off things with characters, we're going to just start talking about old characters, like the characters we knew before Super, as in the ones from Z and the original. So Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, all the good guys that we all like. So first of all, I guess the question is, how do they hold up overall? And this is just a free discussion, so anyone can talk about what they think about anyone. So let's go.
Right, so the main thing that's been on my mind recently, I would say this past couple weeks or way before actually, would be the characters Goten and Trunks. You already know that they're being shafted to the side, sort of like Tien and Krillin and other guys and whatnot. Because
You're aware that Goten and Trunks were both very eager to participate in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah,
way back when.
Then they just
I think Goku or Vegeta, one of them said they're far too inexperienced, and that's why they can't partake in the tournament.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand why they would say that, because Goten and Trunks, they're very young and they're shown to be very childish. But at the same time, it got me thinking, like, what about Gohan? In order to actually genuinely gain experience in combat overall, you need to be put in those dire situations. Like, you recall back when Gohan was little, he had no other choice but to train, and so he fought Nappa and Vegeta and all of them. He was petrified, but he still stood his ground, and as he got on, like, continued fighting more and more, he began to stabilize himself more mentally, and he was able to focus a lot more. And that's how he thoroughly gained experience through the years. Now, Goten and Trunks, they're by far way stronger than Gohan or Goku could ever even imagine at their age. But the thing is, they can't gain experience if they're not put in those situations where they actually can. Say, for instance, Boo and all that, that's a learning experience. And they would have had more of that if they were able to participate in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah,
now, I can understand. Yeah, I can understand why they would put Tien and Krillin and Roshi in there. And Roshi is a very skilled martial artist, don't get me wrong. But they would have had more use from Goten and Trunks, in my honest opinion, because they're very capable.
Well, who would you replace Goten and Trunks with?
For like the Tournament Power team?
Yeah, like from the Tournament Power team.
Who would they replace?
I would say Roshi and Tien, maybe.
Yeah, this is gonna sound hard. Yeah, maybe Roshi and Tien, or
I think Roshi is probably a guarantee.
And then
probably.
Honestly,
because I like
Roshi,
guys,
Here's the thing. Okay, I think if it wasn't manga wise, I believe that the two people that would be taken out would actually be Tien, one, and Krillin. The reason I say that is, in the manga, you got to think, like, Roshi was the one who encouraged Goku to utilize Ultra Instinct, and without Roshi being able to do that, Goku really doesn't get to that point. This is only manga-wise, of course, because in the manga, Krillin and Roshi, they really didn't do... No, not Krillin and Roshi, Krillin and Tien, they really didn't do jack shit, I
feel like Roshi had a lot more, like, development in both the manga and the anime. He had his own, like, episodes in the anime to develop.
Yeah.
Tien got shafted really
he really
bad.
Did get shafted.
Yeah, you know his clones. Yeah, let's just jump off with him. Why not? I don't care. But, like, what happened to Tien? He was so good in Dragon Ball, in the original Dragon Ball. Then he just proceededly got worse and worse.
Yeah, he was just
until Super. Right?
Yeah. So unless, like, it would have been more sense if they gave him a comeback, but they never really did. He was just there.
Yeah. They did like a Yamcha thing. Kind of. It's like, oh yeah, you're just done.
Mhm.
You're just done. Whatever. We don't want you.
Like for me, like overall with these characters, like I don't think this is gonna sound weird, but I don't think Super has justified their presence. Like obviously they're here because it's a continuation of Dragon Ball, and they're the main characters. But,
Yeah.
like it hasn't justified most of their like presence. Like why is like Krillin still here when we're fighting literal gods now and stuff? Like it hasn't given them as much of a justification for still being like relevant. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
but like overall, like if I had to pick like my favorites out of the OG cast that we still have, like my two favorites, if I had to like pick two, maybe like Vegeta and Krillin. Like not that Krillin has done as much because obviously he hasn't really done a lot now, but I think out of all the characters who have remained like consistent and learned, Krillin has at least learned somewhat. Like he's learned to still stand his ground even when amongst gods. Like this is gonna sound controversial, but we all remember the whole Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Krillin thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That makes
Even though,
sense.
yeah,
That makes sense.
I don't
That
really
makes
like
sense,
what they did there, but I see what they were going for to like show that Krillin's really just this human guy, but he's still gonna like stand his ground, and I kind of like him for that. Like he's just like the everyman, even if he's not the toughest.
Yeah, Krillin has been put in those situations many times, going back to Dragon Ball Z, where he knew he wouldn't be able to stand up to his opponents, and he got shat on, but he was brave enough.
Yeah.
Because he has integrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Krillin's a cool character.
Yeah,
I know why they actually decided to use him, but they need to develop the other guys too, you know?
Yeah, they need to develop like Yamcha, Tien, everyone like that.
Well, I wouldn't say develop like those such as Yamcha and Tien. I would say develop, but more so put closure in on their characters.
Oh yeah.
Because we already know that the people, from Toei and Toyota or whatever, they're really not trying to put as much attention on those. So I would say some development and then some closure to where screen time for them wouldn't be much of a necessity as it is now.
Yeah.
Like I'm willing to accept that like Tien and Roshi aren't going to be as relevant now, but like we need them to like sort of have a reason for stepping down. Like give them a reason, like give them a conclusion of some sort.
Yeah,
like back then, Roshi did have a conclusion.
Yeah, Roshi had a conclusion of the tournament, though. I like that.
Way back in Dragon Ball, that the next generation was coming, and he was going to step down, let them shine, and whatnot.
You would think that they would also give Tien closure because they rarely even show Tien at all.
Yeah, they don't really show him anymore.
Like where does Tien go? We only see like Chaozu in Battle of Gods. Like,
yeah, he doesn't really do anything. He's just there with Tien.
Yeah, because when was the last time I think Bubbles got more screen time than Chaozu in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But do we even see Puar? Wait,
yeah, we saw Puar once.
Yeah, we saw Puar. Wasn't it during the when Beerus was Monaka?
Yeah, and Puar posed as him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But anyways, like from there, I guess like the bigger question is where can we go? Because like some characters are unfortunately getting shafted, but like who are the ones that are like still have a chance? Like if I had to like think
Gohan.
of character, definitely Gohan.
Gohan.
Kind of Piccolo, maybe. Like I have ideas what they can do with Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Piccolo was like around Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Like
he was around that
pre-tournament.
Yeah,
but actually he was above him because he choked him out.
From my understanding, right now Piccolo would currently be he's surpassed Super Saiyan 2 level in the Cell and Blue arcs. But what about Super Saiyan 3 level? Is he surpassed that, or is he still?
Probably.
I
think the only best way to gauge that would be through his fight with Frost, would it not?
Yeah.
Also, with the fight with the Namekians.
Oh yeah, the Namekians who fused with all the other ones. They were pretty tough.
Yeah, they made like. Did they give Ultimate Gohan a run for his money or no?
They did actually kind of push him to the edge, and then like Piccolo had to come in and help him out. So
yeah, because
they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
So if anyone had potential, like that's why I also brought up Jackie probably remembers when I told him about like this idea I had for after the Galactic Patrol prisoner arc, maybe Goku and Vegeta like either they leave Earth for some time or they just don't do as much. And then that leaves like our other heroes like Gohan, Piccolo, maybe Krillin and them to like defend the Earth and probably have their own conflict. Like maybe Frieza finds out that Goku and Vegeta aren't back on Earth, so he decides to go get some revenge, and it's up to, like, it'll be like Resurrection F2, and they finally get their redemption, because, like, we all love the Resurrection F fight, where everyone fought while Goku and Vegeta were away, but they still didn't really get a win on Frieza. Like, Gohan got, like, obliterated by Frieza, so it would be a nice way for him to get his revenge.
Also, you could add like 17 and 18 to the mix.
Yeah, because tough now.
Yeah, like 17's like blue level.
Oh yeah, he is. Well, debatably, but yeah.
Debatably.
Honestly, so speaking of 17, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is your guys' opinion regarding Cyborg 17 in the manga and the revelation of these fake Cell Juniors that he has protecting his part?
That was
that may have been plot induced.
That could be plot induced. I mean,
well, it's like how do you make this thing? Wait, I mean, the same thing that Dr. Gero used, and sure, maybe, but then you'd have like it could defect on you and stuff like that.
Resurrection cell and stuff.
Resurrection of C. So for my favorite old character in Dragon Ball Super would probably be Vegeta, because he still gets development. Like
Vegeta,
Vegeta.
Oh,
Vegeta.
Yeah.
I was to say.
I almost heard Vegeta.
You know, Vegeta stayed the same.
I swear I heard Vegeta too.
Yeah, sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Yo, Vegeta is getting some nice development, albeit at the same time, he's had some regression as well.
Yeah, like they tried to change. Like he had like closure at the end of the Boo saga, and they kind of had to ignore it to make him go in.
No, dude, they didn't even have to ignore it, honestly, because from the time that Vegeta does accept the fact that Goku will naturally be one step ahead of him or whatever, we could like Dragon Ball Super, and Vegeta is completely okay with the fact that Goku is, first best or whatever. But Vegeta would use Goku as a goal to like, okay, he can do this, so I can do this. There's always one. If there's one step ahead for him, then there's always going to be one for me, so I can focus on myself and getting stronger. And you can also change. Yeah, and Vegeta's I wouldn't say he's like predominantly family oriented. But, he's also getting more in touch with his familiar side and whatnot with Bulma and Trunks in them. So you can focus more on that regarding Vegeta's character and how he's actually come to focus on saving people that he used to kill, like with the Namekians and shit like that. Focus on that type of stuff.
That's why I like what they're doing. Instead of the prisoner arc where they make Vegeta like very sympathetic with the Namekians because he's trying to...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't be making him like a rival to. Well, you can still keep him as a rival to Goku, but
so they have to bring Vegeta to that point. He has to.
Doesn't Vegeta stop training? It's an inconsistency. Doesn't Vegeta stop training?
Stop training like at the end of Z?
Like at the end of Z?
I don't think.
No,
he didn't.
Vegeta even makes a comment on how Trunks was slacking off. So
he didn't stop.
Yeah, oh yeah, true.
Alright, so moving on next, I guess you want to like move on to new characters now, like discuss the new people? Or anything other notes on old characters?
No, not necessarily. No. They just need to be more fleshed out.
Yeah.
That's really much it.
And then moving on to new characters, like I guess if I had to pick my best of the new characters, this is gonna sound very weird, but Jocko, because he's still Jocko because
Could he like still be considered relatively new? I mean, his first revelation was in 2013, 2014?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it's not that long ago. Yeah. And his only last appearance was a while back. I don't know. So I guess so.
And I
thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I mean like him because he's a comedic relief, so,
Yeah,
and but in a good way, because there's always weird comedic reliefs with Dragon Ball. Sometimes they're a little too over the top. And I think he's decent enough to be cool, but also not too over the top.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need this over the top thing to where you just made this comedy thing.
Yeah. And also just Hits because Hit's awesome. So that's my other favorite.
Hit's pretty cool.
Yeah. Those are my two favorites so far. What about y'all? Who are your favorites of the new cast?
I wouldn't say I particularly have any favorites. I think Broly's a long time character, but this variation of him is very new, and I just like the changes done with him. I wouldn't say the designs or anything is what makes me like him more, but more so his changes on his own motivations and how he is as a character.
Yeah.
How everything about him is just more natural.
Yeah.
So for Broly to be like pure-hearted based on his circumstances, everything is cool. And I just like how everything was rewritten, despite some of the inconsistencies that come with minus all that. I think Toriyama did well. So.
Yeah. If we're going like about Broly, but I'd say like the first movie Broly was probably like the best or second best. Super was probably second because thing and tough Broly was for the first movie.
Oh, like
and showed how much of
tough
how much of
tough guy appeal from the original.
Yeah,
I
like how much of a how much of a powerhouse he can be.
Yeah, because they were both like played as different characters. Like the Broly of the original is made to be like a true powerhouse, like something that takes like one guy who can like take on an army for that kind of appeal. And then like this new Broly's more like character focused, like actual characterization. So depends on your preference for them. Honestly, like both of them.
Both are actually powerhouses, but it just depends on the way that it's displayed.
Yeah. Broly in the second movie was just saying Kakarot. If he actually had like more lines, more dialogue to explain, to like go with, and not just saying Kakarot and just being so mad about this one dude, then I could understand. Like be mad at Gohan or Piccolo and Vegeta.
Yeah.
That movie doesn't even make sense because Vegeta's not remotely relevant. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like where? Where did Vegeta go? Where did he go for the other two movies? Like they just like, nah, Chief, they can deal with this.
That's the thing I don't like about like Dragon Ball Z movies. Like they're quite original in their own way.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so many inconsistencies that come with this supposedly different canon timeline.
Yeah, there's like kind of their own thing. Yeah, they're kind of their thing. And they just like they can be iffy in that regard.
Akira Toriyama's opinion on it was like it's their own dimension or timeline.
Yeah. And then
and there's so many people that constantly try to make sense of the movie timeline with the main storyline's timeline and the continuity.
It doesn't add up. Really.
Yeah, exactly. No matter how much you try or justify.
Yeah.
No.
But then moving on from that, I guess I think we can all agree, like, even if we like the new characters, a lot of people have pointed out how certain ones have some problems in that regard. So, like, overall, the most problematic for me is, like, I don't fully hate these two, but Caulifla and Kale have some problems, in my opinion. Like, if I pick one.
Do you think they have they have plot-induced power-ups?
Pretty much.
I think that.
Yeah.
I think that because like you have like ultimate prodigies, Goten and Trunks. They're like they train and
Goten
train.
And Trunks like worked because it was kind of gaggy in their nature, and they actually trained to get Super Saiyan, for example.
They get Super Saiyan on accident.
Yeah, pretty much.
They get Super Saiyan on accident. They're like more prodigies than Kaon Caulifla, and they're like nothing to Goku, Vegeta, and all the other god tiers. But then we have Kaon Caulifla.
Just show Caulifla just gets Super Saiyan and then Super Saiyan 2 out of nowhere, and Kale is just there. Yeah, that bothered me. I was like, come on. Like I see they're trying to like that's the problem with like
continue.
Yeah. Like, that was kind of, like, the problem with, like, power scaling, because they're so far behind, there was no other way to, like, get them amped up, so they kind of had to, like, push them to, like, Super Saiyan 2 at least, but it's still kind of...
You got me thinking, it should have been done to help ease everything out?
Yeah.
They should have given everybody more time to prepare for
the tournament. Power. Yeah, they didn't have to do it, like, the day before.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. They could have done either that, give them more time so we could go over these other characters to see how they train and whatnot and actually see them develop to attaining a new certain power. Now, I'm talking about characters we already know, like Caulifla and Kellen Hit, right? instead of the new ones that are coming out. Or they could have just done little transitions during the midst of the Goku Black art or some shit like that. But giving more time would be the best way to do it. And as far as Khalifa and Kel go, Kel would be able to so easily attain Super Saiyan because she's supposed to be like fucking Broly.
Yeah.
Some could say it's a cop out, but she's supposed to be like she's the embodiment of an absolute homage to Broly. Yeah. So she has that innate potential, that insane potential. The thing with Khalifa is that, well, okay, sure, she has a lot of potential, like Goten and Trunks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that it barely took her that much effort.
Like she literally just heard "Tingle Your Back" and then boom, Super Saiyan.
Right.
Yeah.
I really don't like the tingle your back thing because I know it's like in Japan for monks and
it was supposed
martial
to be, like,
arts
rooted in actual like history, but it still felt like forced.
Yeah, it still felt forced if like almost all the other Super Saiyans besides Goten and Trunks have gone Super Saiyan out of rage. Like future Trunks, his Gohan died. Goku, Krillin died. Vegeta, he wanted to get stronger than Goku.
Yeah, that Gohan was out of like pride and stuff, and I'm actually okay with Vegeta's.
Yeah, that I guess that could have been like an angry moment, but not really.
That's iffy.
that's a bit iffy.
Yeah, the question would be like, where can everyone go from here? Like Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, Hit, and everyone else. Like, I guess like overall, if there's more focus put on them, that would be good, because it wouldn't really hurt. Like, this is kind of an off example, but I've been reading My Hero Academia lately, and right now in the manga, kind of a spoiler, but not really. I'm not gonna like spoil what's going on. Point is, the story obviously focuses on like our main characters who are like the students training to be superheroes and stuff. And a critique I've always had is that the villains are kind of like one note because we don't know where they come from, we don't know what they want, we don't know why they work together. So it's like the author heard my complaints from afar and made a whole arc focused on the villains. Because right now, like, the newest arc has nothing to do with the hero characters. It's focused on just the villains and their own struggles. So we're watching them develop, and it's not hurting the story because even though we're not focusing on the characters that everyone loves, we're getting to love the new characters and see them grow and develop. Then when we get back to the old ones, then everyone's on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Like, they can make it so, like, we get, like, just a mini arc focused on Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale defending their planet from, like, frost or something, for example. And then maybe Hit gets involved. And then we'll go back to our other Saiyans. And then maybe Vegeta and Goku can finally go to Planet Sadala or something. And then it would feel earned by that point because we've already met the other characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that. 100%. Yeah. If they do something like that for Kale, Caulifla, and Kabe, maybe Hit, but Hit is supposed to be a mysterious force that we don't know about. Besides, he's 1,000 years old and he's an assassin.
Yeah. And then, like, I guess this would also even help, like, marketing. Like, the reason they focus on Goku and Vegeta so much is because money. Like, let's face it, they want marketing. People love those guys. So, like, if they actually developed the new characters like Hit and Jiren in them, and people would be like, wow, they're cool. Let me buy this shirt of Jiren or this action figure of Kaba. So if they actually develop them, then people would actually want more of them, and that would help their marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's crazy enough is that those type of characters, Jiren and Kel and anybody else that really aren't liked by a lot, they still have a lot of dick riders. So if they were actually to be good characters, and they would be absolute fan favorites, like amongst the majority of the audience.
Yeah,
and that's a good point. That's a very good.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anyone that watches this podcast, but I really don't like Jiren. In all honesty, he just seems.
Jiren is so bland for me. I don't hate him. I just don't like him.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He's just so bland.
I like the concept of him being like a wall that people have to work their butts off to overcome, but he was still kind of boring, in all honesty.
45 minutes. Broke the wall in 45 minutes.
Exactly.
And there is a lot of potential depth to his character. It's just the fact of how do you go about this? How do you go about, detailing everything?
His origin story seemed a lot like Batman. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
like, lost my parents to this force.
Yeah, that's
and
the
I worked
comparison
to
everyone
strive
has
against
made.
it.
Yeah, but a good touch to making Jiren better. I just don't get it. It could have been so easily avoided. Instead of introducing him the way they did, they could, all right, first off, showcase him as he is as a character. And then maybe he get his own little special manga chapter. And we see how his parents got attacked or whatever, instead of that brief flashback like in the anime. And see the people in the relationships he had with these people, right? And how he lost them and what other endeavors he had to go through in order to attain such power. And seeing him struggle to get to that point and come into his own personal philosophy that I can only do this by myself. Jiren has the type of, if you want it done right, do it yourself type of mentality.
Yeah.
He's that type of person, not that team type of person. And seeing how he went from actually being involved with the group in the past and having his own master, to seeing how he decided to like be so aloof like Batman actually is, apart with the Justice League or whatever, then people would actually like him more.
Yeah. If they went more in depth on his character, like if they went more in depth on characters that most people like Hit, Jiren, Khalifa, Caleb, if you want to make that point, and Kaiba, then yeah, it would make the show like 10 times better. Like it would help out the show a lot.
One of the most crucial points, in my opinion, would be the fact you definitely have to show what and where and how Jiren faced these opponents and whatever other teachers in order for him to get so much power by himself.
Yeah,
like that
right.
needs to be explained. We saw the type of shit Goku and Vegeta went through. What could have Jiren possibly went through to get to that point?
It could literally just be through a montage, like a montage just showing him doing like all this like basic like training on stormy mountains, getting like fighting a full army or something. Just a montage,
dying almost 1,000 times.
Yeah. Like hype him up instead of just like having him show up. Like actually hype him up. Like maybe Whis could like try to intimidate Goku. Like this guy from the 11th universe. I heard he's taken on thousands. Like he's conquered or he's fought all kinds of planet conquerors, and he's nearly died hundreds of times, and all this other crap like that. And then Goku would get pumped.
If you say planet conquerors, it doesn't seem that intimidating anymore. Because
oh yeah, true.
Once you just say universal conquerors, then we're good.
See, and I find the very thing that Jiren and Goku have in common is that they're always looking to improve themselves, and they're trying to go for that next barrier, right? Mm-hmm. And so it would come to a point to see that it could be understood that maybe Jiren, look to get a new master, become stronger than that master, and, continue up the ladder. Maybe he, like Goku, got trained by Kaioshins and Kais of his own realm, and that could explain why he got so strong. Like, if that was the case, then I would understand, and it would actually make sense.
Could have like just said he was like Belmont's pupil or something, and people would have like been like, "Oh, okay, that explains it."
Then you got Topo, who's supposed to be the candidate. So wouldn't that mean he would be more fit to actually be like the strongest? See, shit like that,
Right? Why is he the candidate for the god of destruction? But
Jiren is stronger than Belmont.
Jiren's also like he doesn't show a lot of emotions when we first meet him. Yeah, Topo doesn't show emotions as well, but at
least like Topo goes for justice and everything. Jiren's just like kind of there.
It doesn't make sense for Topo since he goes for justice and Jiren just kind of there, like you said. So it makes sense for
Jiren being the God of Destruction candidate would have actually been a lot better for his character, I think, because that would hype him up a lot more as like this really strong guy. But
it would
also
make
they kind of needed Topo to be there and be cool and stuff. I guess
that would make sense. I guess they were just trying to pre-plan a Blue Evolution Vegeta versus Topo, God of Destruction Topo. So where Vegeta gets a pride boost and just beats the loving crap out of Topo.
Yeah. But then, are we like? Does anyone want to say anything new on like new characters? Because we can move on to the next section if you guys are ready.
No, I've pretty much said everything I had to say.
Same here.
All right. Well, I guess the next section is kind of just like focus on antagonists, like the bad guys, the villains that we face. So, like to list them off, we already know like for Dragon Ball Super, our main antagonists have been Beerus of the Battle of Gods arc, Hit of the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament, Goku Black and Zamasu of the Goku Black arc, Jiren of the Tournament of Power, and currently Moro. And I guess, like, Broly, like Super Broly if you want to count him. Like, I'll refer to Dragon Ball Super's Broly as
Rip
Super
Frieza.
Broly.
Rip Frieza.
Oh, wait, crap, Frieza. I knew that. I mean, like, as far as new characters.
This just goes to show how forgetful Frieza actually should be at this point.
Yeah.
And him, too, Frieza, yeah. That guy.
that guy, you know, whatever.
Yeah, like shiny Frieza. We'll say that.
Yeah,
for Golden
shiny Frieza.
To start off, Beerus as an antagonist was actually very well done.
Yeah, I really liked Beerus in the early arcs when he was like a villain. Well, not a villain, but an antagonist, because he was like the idea. Yeah, he was the idea of like an actual like god character. Like he wasn't their friend, but he wasn't just gonna like be mean to them as long as they respected him.
Yeah, Beerus doesn't have to be their friend.
Yeah, like, and now they've just kind of made him their friend, which I don't really like.
Yeah, it's like what they did to Tien, Piccolo, and Yamcha.
They were like not their friends, but they were anti-heroes.
They were anti-heroes.
Back then, the thing with Beerus is he wouldn't hesitate. Like, as Beerus was shown, he's like the type of person that wouldn't hesitate to punch somebody or do something to anybody within that group if they had looked at him or did anything to him wrong. Nowadays, if somebody took his plate, he would just get in their face instead of probably smacking them. Like, he smacked Bulma. You think he will pull that shit now? Probably
like,
not.
Bulma can tell him off now, and he's not going to do anything. Like,
back
then, he wouldn't even hesitate to, like, disintegrate her if she looked at
And that's what made Beerus cool back then.
Yeah. But now he's just, like, there, and he just eats their food, and I'm like, what happened?
Like,
Beerus could be provided for comedy relief, all the while having that urge of despair, you know. No, that's high to him.
Like, oh my god, a god, and I'm afraid I'm gonna die.
Yeah, we shouldn't test him.
Yeah, we shouldn't test him. Like, Goku tested him, like, straight up.
Like he went up against him to go to see Zeno. And just, like, if it was old Beerus, he would have, like, killed him right there. If he even thought about it. But he
probably would have fought. And Goku would have got his ass beat.
Exactly.
Yeah. It would be of a perfected Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta versus Beerus moment. Just gets one-shotted.
The thing with Saiyans is getting beaten up horribly is more insulting than getting killed.
Yeah, so that's why Beerus was, like, cool to them. Like, he would just, like, mop the floor with everyone rather than being like, I'm gonna kill you, villain. And that's why
they already know you kill him.
But then, like, I guess my new favorite antagonist now would be, like, he's not really an antagonist, but Hit. Because, again, I like Hit. But he's still not, like, really their ally. He's kind of a rival for Goku. And I think he actually serves as a good rival.
He does.
Yeah. But I guess, like, looking at all the villains overall again, like, is it a good lineup compared to Z? Like, the Z villains were, like, for main villains, as far as Z goes, not counting, like, movies. Like, it was Vegeta for the Saiyan Saga. Then Frieza for the Namek Saga. Like,
Captain
we have to consider the fact that most of the antagonists with Dragon Ball Super aren't even villains.
Yeah, they're not really.
So the only real villains of Dragon Ball Super, we can't even include Frieza if we're gonna compare Frieza to old Frieza. Like, it's still Frieza. Yeah. So the only real villains we would have would be Zamasu and Moro right now to compare to Vegeta, Boo, Ginyu, and Cell,
Raditz, Nappa, and all.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, all of them guys.
There were like actual villains, and these ones were just kind of there in the Super.
They're just anti-heroes and one-offs.
So
we don't.
The major villains from all of Dragon Balls from start, like before Super, from start to finish, I'm talking like from the very beginning, would have to be Pilaf, then it'd have to be Commander Red, and then it would have to be Piccolo Daimao. Tien wasn't really Tao Papai, then Piccolo Daimao.
Yeah.
Tien wasn't really evil, but he was definitely an antagonist. And then we get Raditz. Vegeta's actually the main one of that saga, so Vegeta. And then we get Frieza and
like Frieza
20.
And
there's like 10
villains are there.
10 villains or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
if we wanted to count off all the arcs, like General
Dude, yeah.
Cyborg Tao made a reference in Dragon Ball Z when he fought against Gohan, Super Saiyan Gohan. Yeah, Super Saiyan Gohan.
Yeah. But then, like, for the new villains added, like, I think overall Z's villains were. The thing is, I like classic villains. Like, I like villains. Like, that's a kind of how that has to do with like our shift in how we handle antagonists, because villains back in the day were like evil. Like, they wanted this, they wanted that, they would kill whoever got in their way. And now villains are all like, oh, this villain's actually morally gray, or they're like sympathetic, or they're actually a good person who needs to be converted. Like, not just for like Dragon Ball, but for movies, for anime in general and stuff. That's been happening now. And like,
so far, it doesn't seem like that's the case with Moro, and I hope it stays.
I hope Moro is like actual like classic evil, because I like classic evil.
Right.
Like, I'm talking like old school Disney villains like Jafar or Scar, or Maleficent. Yeah. Like,
If it's like them, then I was like, yes, thank the Lord that we're actually having someone new.
Yeah. That's why I liked Frieza back then. Like, back in the Namek saga, he was just like evil because he wanted to be, and like that challenged Goku directly, because Goku has that sympathetic idea of converting people, and Frieza was just bad to the bone. That's why he was so amazing.
Yeah, Frieza's actually born evil, because King Cold was born evil, and they're like mutants.
So
Frieza can never change. Anybody who even remotely has an idea, oh, Frieza can become good. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
He never will be. It's not happening.
If they somehow made him Frieza good, then that just ruined the character entirely.
That was just ruined him entirely.
That's a major fuck up.
Yeah, like that's why. Like in the Tournament of Power, they handled him pretty well for the most part, with him being like not an ally, not even an anti-hero. He just like hated them, but he knew he had to survive. And they kept like hinting that Frieza was going to find some way to like double cross everyone, for better or worse. So I like that they handled him there.
He double crossed Frost.
Yeah,
like yes,
that was like actually my favorite moment for him, like in the tournament.
Guys, in my opinion, it would have made more sense for them to actually revive Cell.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Gosh. Yes, exactly. that we'll be getting into that.
You gotta think about it.
Yeah. We'll be getting to that for the next.
I just have to get this off my chest. I just have to say, because in order to explain my viewpoint, regardless of Cell wasn't the type of person to be evil mainly so because I gotta be this way. He was all about his own solipsism and just wanting to become stronger. And the Tournament of Power would have been a perfect opportunity for Cell to really test his limits and try to break the next barrier. Like, that's a missed opportunity.
And all these people like, but he's not strong enough now. No, he can get strong like that. Like, put him in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Just put him in a gravity time chamber or something. Yeah,
and he'll come out like God tier. He'll come out God tier.
Right
he's going to snap his fingers and become gold. That's what shit Cell would do.
No, he's gonna be Super Saiyan Gold. That's what he's gonna call it. Oh, now I'm in Super Saiyan Gold. Like, okay, that's
just a mix of Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan. It would work. Like, you could bring him back and make him OP.
And chances are actually higher that Cell would be converted rather than Frieza. Exactly. So it would make more sense for Cell to actually remain alive and not Frieza, who's still been the same evil, sadistic cunt he's always been.
It makes more sense for Cell because he has Piccolo's blood, Goku's blood, Vegeta's blood. Does he have future Trunks' blood or no?
I don't think so. I know he has.
It's not even. It's not even with just the blood. It's just that Cell's main motivations are becoming better and stronger.
Yeah,
and that's the same. And that's the same thing Goku likes. That's the same thing Goku, and that's his goal too. And if Goku would be able to show to Cell that he can do that without having to go out and kill innocent people, then Cell could actually be neutral.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to be good. He could be neutral.
If he's neutral, if he's neutral, then that'd be very good in between.
You know what Cell's role would perfectly be?
What?
Cell would be the type of person to stay distant from Goku and the others unless he wants to, I guess you could say, train and whatnot. Cell would be more like Piccolo on his lonesome out there trying to be better. And whenever another villain comes around, that in itself would be an opportunity for Cell to come out and show something new and show something he's taught himself or learned.
Yeah.
Like he could go out in space and try to, learn some other shit.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
think
would be Cell in a nutshell.
I think it'd be pretty cool if he could like combine techniques of like Krillin and Tien to like make a.
That would be great, like for his character. Like he can just be a combo character because he's everyone. Like surprised they've not utilized him more. Like,
and the thing with Cell too is that he would also be the character to keep Goku and everybody else on their toes because Cell can easily turn around and try to kill them.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, if he trains, he's going to progress a lot more efficiently and a lot more quicker than everybody else. So that would have to course everybody else into trying 10 times harder in their training to become stronger. Yeah. So everybody would be on guard. There's never a moment for
give Cell 2 days. Give Cell 2 days. He's going to become BOG God tier.
Exactly. It makes more like for Cell, like due to his anatomy, it makes more sense for him to power up quick than like someone who's on Super Saiyan 1 level go into above Super Saiyan God level in 4 months. Not naming it.
Yeah. But, not Frieza in any sort of way, shape, or form. Yeah. Didn't train at all. Didn't train.
And then just decided, let me just train for 4 months, and look at that, I'm stronger than gods now. Okay.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. I can be gods. I can climb God.
All I need instead of I was just about to say, like, instead of just focusing on bringing back old characters, just make new ones that can be great.
Like new ones that can work.
Right.
But since we're like on that note, like obviously the talk now because of Broly came back, everyone's talking about who else is gonna come back and who else and what else is gonna happen. That's what I was going to get to. Yeah,
everybody wants Cooler, bro.
Everybody wants.
But
Cooler.
if you're gonna bring back Cooler, you're gonna have to explain his absence.
Yeah, that's
he can't just come out. He can't just be like come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh, I'm Frieza's brother and
especially after Frieza's nonsense.
I just want to put vengeance on everybody." Like, dude, where were you to begin with?
And I think it could work actually because again, we're talking about like I have two ideas. Like either
we're talking about the Frieza clan. We're talking about the Frieza clan here, so that they can just like screw their family members like over. Like in the original DBZ movie of Cooler, like okay, I really don't care about my brother because he's a spoiled brat and whatnot.
Yeah. So like I think there's two ways they can bring him back though. Like I think there's two. Like the first one is either make him from another universe, like bring him in from another universe, and maybe make him Frost's brother if we have to. Although that would be divisive because like he works as Frieza's brother. So, that's like question.
Well, then we'd have to make a brother for Frieza then because,
true.
Because that's their moral opposite. Right?
Now, my other idea is that, this is my other idea, similar to what they did with just Broly. He's been stuck somewhere for like a while. Like maybe instead of doing like Cooler, we could straight up just do like Metal Cooler. Say like Cooler died in an accident or something, had got like a metal body, and it's been like stuck somewhere in like the sleep mode, and Frieza awakens him or someone awakens him, and he wants.
That would become a cliche in Dragon Ball.
It would be like a weird Terminator thing. But then again, like it happened with Broly, so it'll be questionable.
It happened with Dr. Uedo, remember, because he was stuck in ice. He was stuck in ice. It happened with Garlic, as you could say, because he was stuck out somewhere.
Thing is, like, we have to figure out a way to bring him back if we want Cooler back and explain his power.
And probably the most simple way, the easiest way for them to do that would just like to be to canonize like the first Cooler movie.
Right?
You'd have to. That could work. But
that could work because of the 3 years in between. They could say like, "Oh yeah, Cooler came and he almost killed Goku. He almost killed Goku."
Yeah, but then you'd have to be like, there would be some question, and there's like, okay, if Cooler really happened, why the fuck they never bring him up? Never bring him
ever, like not even Frieza. So
ever.
Like it could have happened for Resurrection F. That's all I'm saying. Like they could have done it in Resurrection F. By that point, he could have like showed up.
Yeah, they've had a multitude of opportunities to mention Cooler. Like they mentioned Tarble. They actually mentioned Tarble in the Broly movie. They mentioned Cooler though. Like, come on.
Like, oh yeah, this is my brother.
So they could
if they made a metal cooler, then well, would he be like going around like absorbing all the planets and whatnot to make his army stronger?
Then he's pretty much Moral and Turles.
Moral and Turles.
They can make like a sort of Age of Ultron styled story with Cooler, maybe if you want to do that.
Oh wow!
Well, if you do like the comics, where like
we've got enough Marvel.
If we just kill off everyone.
Yeah, that would be questionable, but that's the only question. Like, how would they do it? But other than that, would Cooler, like, assuming we figure out a good way to bring him in, would Cooler work for the story? I mean, like, he could, like, maybe if he, like, rivals Frieza. I have no idea, because would he get, like, a golden form? That's the biggest question. Would he get his own form?
The thing is, you can't just let two evil people like them live.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
They're not going to change their ways.
I've seen this. I watched this fan manga. It's about like like Frost's brother. His name was Blood.
Oh, I heard about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was able to match up with base Gogeta in like his 5th form.
Yeah.
Then golden form was around blue Gogeta.
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous. Like, oh my god.
That's a pretty tough guy.
Did they give him Saiyan blood? Hold up here. Let me check my clock. Let me pull out the calculator here. Let me add this up.
But then
like what? Like, how much training does this guy do?
Like I remember I saw like someone on Amino actually brought this up when I was talking about like bringing back new characters. They were like, maybe Cooler could be like a science experiment or something. That was an idea I even had for like Broly, like to explain his power. Maybe Cooler is like, I don't know how it worked. Like, would Cooler already have been born and then enhanced with like science experiments to make him stronger? Kind of like, you guys remember Dragon Ball AF and Zykor? Or what's his name?
Yeah, Zykor.
Something
Wasn't
like
that the?
I mean, Toyotaro, who wrote Dragon Ball AF, is doing the manga. So
yeah.
Or maybe instead, if you want to go to scientist experimentation route, instead you could go on the path of saying, well, Cooler, who has sung a code, would be expected to get the same type of abnormal powers that Code and Frieza had from birth, but instead he was natural. Like he didn't have any of those genes. Yeah. So in order to make Cooler seem like, Code and Frieza, they would try to experiment on him and try to make him actually get to the point of power. And maybe you could say because of this, Cooler isn't inherently evil like Frieza or Code is. So he has more of a conscience. But that's a whole different route. I mean, it could be taken.
Back to what I said earlier about like if he had Saiyan blood, you can make like if he's a science experiment, then you can be like, oh, he's been mixed with Saiyan blood and a lot of other potentially great races like Jiren, if we're gonna go with the Universe 6 round in Saiyans.
Jiren cells would make that guy broken.
Right, it would make him broken.
But on the other note, thing is, I've always wanted, if there's one guy I've always wanted back, this is gonna sound divisive. It's King Vegeta. I don't know how. I don't know why. I'm not saying I want all the Saiyans to come back, because that's like that's like not gonna happen anymore. I've accepted that. But I want King Vegeta back somehow. Like, the thing is, could they include him now? Because we didn't see him die in Dragon Ball Super Broly. Think about it. Maybe he was off-world, and he's been in hiding. The only thing is, he would have probably by now he would have come out to get revenge on Frieza and probably died. So, who knows? I'm just saying, I'd like to see him again.
We can make a little mini arc of Taro trying to find the Dragon Balls and
to try to revive their dad. Yeah,
revive their dad and mom.
Yeah,
now we could figure out King Vegeta's last name and their last name.
Yeah.
And also figure out who their mom is.
Like just like a little history of Vegeta arc thing. That would be
right.
Learn more about the royal.
So question.
Yeah.
Getting back to the topic of rebooting like movie villains and whatnot. I don't think it would be very a very much successful thing to do because it would get old.
Yeah.
So instead of going that route, I was just thinking like, what if instead of like doing Dragon Ball Super movies to focus on fighting new villains and stuff, we get more. So say for instance, a whole movie setting could be Goku and Vegeta actually preparing for their arrival to planet Sadala.
That would be like, you mean like more situational, explorative movies? Like, that, I actually like that idea. Like, think about like, that's actually what Pokemon's been doing. Like with their movies, you know how the Pokemon movies used to always be like legendary of the week, like the legend of this, like a legendary Pokemon fights another legendary. But now, like ever since the 20th anniversary, they've been doing like more experimental stuff. Like, and I like
they actually been testing the waters, not like Dragon Ball, which is like
see guys,
really.
And you see how back then the old Dragon Ball Z movies would try to be the types to fill certain gaps in times of peace or whatever, but it just couldn't fit. Dragon Ball Super can actually do that, but they could do it nicely. Yeah, and they can actually make literally, do more like, you know, certain character arcs and whatnot, fun adventure time type things, exploration to fit in. Like, say for instance, what would these guys be doing right now in their time off in times of peace? There's no villains to worry about, no tournaments, none of that stuff.
And that even
so maybe they decide to go.
That even ties back to my idea with more characters. Like, maybe we can get a movie finally focused on like Gohan, Piccolo, and them trying to be heroes again, and it can still involve Goku and Vegeta. But like movies could be focused more on character growth, like Battle of Gods was. That's why I love Battle of Gods, because it gave enough time to develop like the main cast again. Even like minor characters like freaking Chi-Chi's dad like got development in that movie. So we can get more of that.
No, in honesty, I can't forget Chi-Chi dad's what there. I can't forget Chi-Chi's dad exists. That makes him that makes Goku a prince.
Kind of.
It does.
But yeah, like we can get more of that in the future, and I think that will be pretty good. Like just character-driven movies, more world building and whatnot, because the best way to introduce us to the world is through the characters. Even if we could do movies focused on Goku and Vegeta, maybe if they want to get more experimental, Caulifla and Kale in them, or Cabba and Hit, like just a Universe 6 movie or something. I don't know.
If it's a Universe 6, I mean, maybe then that like involve all 10 main Universe 6s for the Tournament of Power. Mm-hmm. Like Frost, Caulifla, Kale, Cabba, and whatnot.
One of the most, I would say, creative Dragon Ball movies, perhaps the most creative one's ever done, would have to be Dragon Ball's Sleeping Princess and Mystical Adventure.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but I know what it is. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
What's it about? Doesn't it have launch in it?
Does it?
Okay, I thought it was, because I remember playing something like that on Dokkan.
Yeah.
Dokkan.
Like, we gotta get more creative-based movies. Like, again, back to Pokemon. They just had a movie, this was last year, I think, called The Power of Us, which was like, it had nothing to do with like saving legendaries or saving the world. It was literally just Ash and these new characters like trying to become better people and protect their city or something. It was actually like good because it was different, and I think that's what Dragon Ball could do, like more experimental movies, especially like with the new style, because I like the Shintani style, and it's really like lighthearted and cartoony, so a little more world adventure.
I just thought of another idea. Like,
wait, what's the idea?
They could basically a more comedic aspect type of movie on Dragon Ball, focused on individual characters. And what I mean by this is that is, of course, to be based on comedy, but then we will like transition from certain characters like Krillin and 18 and what they're doing at home, and Yamcha what he's doing on his free time or whatever.
If he's still doing baseball. Still doing baseball and trying to get women.
It's a basically where are they now type of movie. Yeah. So you jump from Karin to Upa to maybe even I don't know Pilaf, whatever.
We haven't seen Karin in DBZ, have we?
We have in like
DBZ. Yeah, we have.
No, not DBZ. Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, Karin was in the episodes like leading up to the Tournament of Power when Roshi visited. Yoshi visited Roger.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I saw. I actually forgot about that.
But more movies just focused on character would be nice overall.
So yeah, that'd be very good for character development.
Maybe a launch movie. Maybe that's asking too much.
that would be peak fan service. I'd love to see that. Yeah.
No line. We haven't seen Launching since.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, where is Launch now? What is she up to?
Or
What's she been doing?
enough,
She's still robbing?
Trying to still hook up with Tien.
Oof.
Oof,
And then
no. No.
Toriyama said she gave up on that.
Oh yeah. And then oddly enough, I had another idea for maybe a Dragon Ball, like not a full on reboot of the original, but a sort of memorabilia movie for the original Dragon Ball, using the Shintani style, like that goes back to like key moments from the original.
Ooh, that'd be good. Like how
Nice.
You know, you also had me thinking.
should it be like a flashback? Should it be like a flashback? Since you said it'd be like a montage or like a really long movie.
More like a reboot that just like captures key moments and can like skip over some filler stuff, like a more modernized style.
So
kind of like that, like Pokemon the movie I Choose You, like what they did for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, where they made a movie about like the original season where Ash first meets Pikachu and everything, like something like that.
Okay,
I think something can be dealt with in regards to Super and its anime and manga. A lot of people like to say that the anime is the main canon or whatever, but Toei has went on to say, and I have scanned, that Toei went on to say that the manga is the sequel canon to Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
So right now, we already realized that we have Dragon Ball Super anime, we have Dragon Ball Super manga, and they take note, they get plot points from Akira Toriyama, and they go about things differently. Mm-hmm. So this will be later on down the road, far later on. Say, for instance, after Dragon Ball Super is finally wrapped up, they would probably try to do Dragon Ball Super Kai, so where they could fix things.
Oh yeah.
Actually, do reanimations that would be based more on the manga.
The manga.
So the confusion would die down with so many questions.
It'd be kind of funny if they made like a GT port for a Dragon Ball Super. Made like a Return of the Tuffles and the Shadow Dragons. Oh, the Shadow Dragons would probably be a pretty good arc for Dragon Ball Super, but yeah. Oh, would they have powers like Beerus because they wish they were powers of gods?
That would be interesting to have like
right. Well, it depends on if this is the movie or not, but.
They can make a movie about like the Shadow Dragons just for fan service, but maybe even like throw in like an Easter egg of Super Saiyan 4-esque hair, but then not do it just for fun of it.
Throw an Easter egg from Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr.
Just a GT inspired movie for the fun of it.
Right, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
if they made a movie like that.
But does anyone else have anything else to add overall for this?
Nah.
No. We're literally an hour in. Wow.
Yeah.
We're an hour in.
Yeah, we are.
But are we all good? Like for what we want to talk about to like recap old characters? So to recap, like old characters are good but still need more fleshing out. New characters are good but still need more fleshing out. Antagonists are good but still need more fleshing out. And old character and bringing back characters from like movies and stuff is debatable.
And fleshing them out.
Yeah, fleshing them out as well.
Yeah,
flesh everything out.
Yeah, just like the moral of the story, flesh everything out.
Basically, just do everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But that has been our podcast. So we're all good, guys.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really liked this discussion.